live. I think we're live. We are live right now. And what do I say every night? It's better to be live than no. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Skip Happens. It's a brand new night. It's a brand new episode. And of course, along with Deb Lamphere, the president of the official country music fan club in the Northeast. And of course, as you already know, my name is Skip Clark, also the program director at 92.1 The Wolf. And this is my podcast that it's called Skip Happens. And we always try to put the spotlight on the new and up and coming artists and the songwriters and our friends in Nashville. And y'all, tonight, as you can see, we have Allie Colleen. I want to say Colleen. I don't know if a lot of people do that, but Allie Colleen. So
Co-Leen, like Jolene, but with C.
I love it. I love it. How are you? It's a pleasure to meet you. First of all, thank you for taking the time to
Absolutely.
join us.
Honored to be here. Honored to be here.
All right. Now, we're going to talk about your music. We're going to talk about your songwriting, a little bit about your background. But first of all, do I see like two full sleeves?
Really? I do. I've got.
Look at you, girl.
Oh my God.
Got my bang pow. My flowers. I have a flower for everybody in my family.
Oh, cool.
Everybody who really, really means something to me. So I just look down and I see them all the time. So my decisions are all fueled by mom and dad, whether I want them to be or not, right? I can see them on there. They freak me out. So they're there. And then same kind of thing with the other arm. It's just all scripture, all little things that I live by. The clock is everybody's favorite.
I love that.
I don't know why, but everyone loves the clock. It's everybody's favorite. And then mine's favorite's the lion.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
So
we watched Lion King the other night too. That's kind of cool.
Such a good one.
Love it. How when did you get your first tattoo?
I got my first tattoo on my 18th birthday.
Oh my gosh. And well, of course, being 18, you could do that without parents
right,
telling you what to do and what not to do.
That was the goal.
Yeah, I hear you. And so how many do you have overall?
So with both my arms counting as one, so
Okay.
1, 2. I think I've got probably 15 or 16.
Oh my goodness.
And
a lot of them are little.
Yeah.
A lot of them are little. So I have like my little sleepy Z's.
Oh my gosh.
Like those are little. I have narcolepsy, so I have my little sleepy Z's. Okay. I've got a bunch of little ones. My eyebrows are tattooed. All of it.
I'm trying to.
Are you kidding?
There's hair and everything, but they just like go through and like fill them in. It's great.
You would never know that. Why? Why though? I mean, I love it too. I've got. I don't know if you can see it here, but yeah. But I
can't see what it is, but I see on your forearm. Why do I get them?
Yeah, I mean, what turned you on to getting tattoos?
So I'm just like a visual learner in everything in life. Like probably the most visual learner you'll ever meet. I don't care what it is. You're gonna have to show me it if you want me to do it. Like, that's just how I am.
Yeah.
And there's not a hand that I shake, or a person that I meet or anything like that or a song that I play on guitar. Nothing like that happens without looking at my hands, And so it's been a really grounding thing for me. I planned out this tattoo. I planned out my sleeve when I was 15. I knew exactly what I wanted. They're all my life verses. It's all really important to me.
Yes.
And so like, there's really not somebody that I meet where I don't look down at my arms and remember all these kind of core values that I have and things like that. But honestly, the real answer is probably just because they look cool.
Mm-hmm. I get you.
They look really cool. My first one was an elephant on my leg. I love elephants.
Oh, wow.
But all different kinds of reasons, just depending on the tattoo. Some of them were for whatever reason, and some of them really, really mean a lot to me.
And then let me ask, what does your mom and dad think about that?
My mom and dad have actually been so good about it. So I don't know what tattoos they had in mind.
Right.
But I can tell you they were not mine, right? I'm sure it was more like a Tasmanian devil on like the back of my calf or something weird. Like, my dad was really sweet the first time that I came home with like my sleeve started. He was very sweet. I was very nervous to show him, and he was like, "I've never seen a tattoo done that well before, honestly." And I was like, "Cool, all right, awesome."
That's the end right there.
So he's fine with them. He knows what they mean, and so he's very supportive and that kind of thing. He definitely still asks me to stop all the time, but he is very supportive. And then my mama got her first tattoo at 50 and like loves them and is all about mine. She's had one and done, but she's all about it. She's fine.
See, I got mine later in life as well. I don't have as many as that, but I think once you get one, then you want another.
Yeah.
Then you want another. Then you want
And
another,
another.
and it just
And another.
and also now obviously those weren't done all in one shot. I mean, you had to keep going back when you had another thought, another idea. You just added on to what you had on
Right.
your arm already.
Well, both my arms, I was lucky in the sense that I knew what I wanted when I started.
Uh-huh.
So like this arm, I brought him the whole arm when I had it, and like you said, we didn't do it in one setting. We did it in a bunch of different ones. But with that said, I had this entire arm planned out, and then with the flowers, we started and kind of left it alone for like a year and a half, and then came back to it. But I've got 32 hours on this one
I
and
was going to ask
27
how many
hours
hours.
on this.
Wow. So you got to bring up, all right. So you got to bring up your left arm to meet the hours on the right arm, right?
I guess
Yeah.
people keep asking me if I'm
127.
gonna fill it in, like that's how this works or something. Like I'm now gonna color this black and white tattoo that I have, but that's not how it works. It's done.
I love it, girl.
Miss Deb, do you have any?
Me, no. I like to see them on other people, but I'm too chicken.
Hey, that's okay. That's all right.
I wonder what Lou would say if you came home with a tattoo.
What do I? Oh my gosh! It depends on where it is.
Yeah,
Totally would depend on where it is, but he kind of likes the tattoo thing. But it's fun. I was going to ask you if you had to have it all done at one time, or if you did go in sections to have.
So the skin, you can take about as much as either you or your tattooer can stand. My tattooer, his back really starts to hurt at like 6 or 7 hours.
Oh.
Me, I'm hurting at like 2 hours.
Right.
So like I'm good to stop whenever he is. But the skin has to take like 6 weeks to heal before you can start again. So there would be 6 weeks in between every appointment. So that really spaces it out, you know, kind of thing. But I think the most I had done at one time was probably 6 hours. So you spread 27 up and those kind of things. It's really not too bad.
See, Debbie could get your eyebrows done and you would never have to worry about it again.
I do like the eyebrow idea.
The eyebrows are great. You keep your hair, everything. They just kind of shape them and like give you a shape. And like
You know,
I fill them in for like special occasions. So like they're not like I don't wake up with a really aggressive brow every morning. That'd be a lot. But I do fill them in. But they're great.
I love
Have you ever thought? Oh, I'm sorry. Have you ever thought that what if someday you wanted to change out your tattoos, or maybe you might not? Something might lose meaning to you.
I've never had one that like I didn't want anymore, but I do have new ideas that like I'll be like, oh my gosh, I could put it here, and then I'll be like, ah, crap, I can't. You know, like I ran into that a lot. I've actually found that I don't really like tattooing a lot of stuff other than my arms. So like I've started on my legs, and I'm not into it as much. So I feel like I could get probably 12 different sleeves if I wanted to, as far as what all I would do, but I'm already out. You know, I got my 2. So
there you go.
Gotcha. Well, they look pretty cool. I totally agree. It is awesome. Before we get on the subject of music, you know, so people can comment on here, and therapy thing for me. That's what Christine is saying. So that's kind of cool when you think about it. People get tattoos for different reasons. So
it really is. And like you said, some people think it's really painful and some people think it's really therapeutic.
Well,
and that's just how it is with different people. I'm different on each day. Some days I'm for it. We could go for hours, and some days I'm like, please stop. I'm over it.
Right. And it depends where you get it too. If it's closer to the bone, it's going to be a little more painful. Like somebody snapping a rubber band against your skin.
Elbows.
And yes, I heard that. Wow. Well, we're talking with Allie Colleen here tonight, and we've talked about the tattoos, but most importantly, she is a singer, songwriter in Nashville. Music's been in her life for a long time, and she ain't the only hell that her mama raised.
I ain't.
I know. We listened to the song earlier, and that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Wait, we talked about the tattoos, as I mentioned. Let's talk about you though, and your beginning with the music, and what got you to where you are today.
Absolutely. Like you said, music has been a parent for me forever. I've never not wanted to do it. That's probably the most interesting thing about music. To like moving to Nashville, you meet so many different kinds of people. And I've met a lot of people here that it's so funny. Anyone who can sing but like doesn't want to sing, they always call themselves a karaoke singer. I don't know why, but that's what they call themselves. So all that to say, I came to Nashville and I met a lot of like karaoke singers that decided at 21, 22 that they wanted to do this. And that's amazing, right? But I can't imagine that. I can't imagine a life when you didn't want to be on your top 20 all the time, you know, and like that wasn't all you thought about. Like all I've ever thought about since I was a kid was just music, and I love it. I love everything about it. It's also the only thing I'm good at. Not good at too many things. I'm pretty good at music, so I'm gonna stick with it.
I think you're probably good at many things. I can tell you're very talented. So you talk about the music, you play the guitar, you've been writing a lot of your own stuff. Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah. My dad got me my first guitar when I was 9.
Okay.
And I just stared at it for a couple years, a long time. And then of course, I met a boy at some point who could play guitar. So then I wanted to play guitar. And I started learning when I was like 14. And that was really when songwriting kind of came together for me. I wrote like little jingles and songs like that before, just lyrically by themselves, and I'd sing them and those kind of things. But it wasn't until I was really able to finally like sit and like hold a guitar and like play you a song, and at the end of it be like, that's it, not like that's it if you can just imagine music to it, like that was it. Like I had a song and it was so special. And I was the only person in my hometown that I knew of that was in like the country music kind of scene that wanted to do it. I had a really awesome opportunity for a couple of years to be in like this little punk rock band. They're called Neo Romantics. They're still killing it in Tulsa. They're amazing. Great friends of mine, but they were kind of the first people I ever met that did music. So all that to say, when I got to come to Belmont, a school where all of us came from everywhere to do music.
Right.
It was so special. It was so cool. And so 8th grade, I was like, that's where I'm going. And I didn't look anywhere else. I knew that I was going to move to Nashville as soon as I graduated high school. I graduated high school in Owasso, Oklahoma. So needless to say, like I said, I was the only one who was going off to Nashville. And I've just literally been so in love with it since. I've learned so much. And I had 4 years at Belmont. I got a bachelor's degree in songwriting, whatever that means.
Well, you did it.
You did
honestly, so excited about it. I did it. I know when my parents and I made a deal that I would go to college before I pursued music, they did not think that it would be a songwriting degree.
I was going to ask you about that deal that you had with your dad about going to college.
We did. We agreed. Kind of right around when I got my guitar and started writing songs, he was kind of like, oh, crap. Like, she's really into it. Like, she's really gonna, she's not giving up on this. And I just fell in love with it. And he was like, okay, if you're going to do this, then, your mom and I agree. And you're going to go to school and you're going to get an education and you're going to grab that plan B, and then go do music, whatever you want. Well, and they did not think for a second that I was going to get a degree in songwriting. That is not how they thought that was going to work out.
It's not even so much the degree, but part of your growing up, adulthood, and going through that college experience and living away from home and being on your own, pretty independently. Your parents are there to back you up if you need something, but that's your first shot out of the house.
Well, you're so right. You're so right. And I needed it. I mean, I probably need 12 more years, honestly. I mean, but you're right. I see a lot of kids now that are coming up, and I hate that I give them the same advice my parents gave me. I hate it. It tastes bad in my mouth. But I'm like, dude, you gotta grow up. Like, you just gotta spend some time with yourself. Like, you don't know who you are, and you don't want to be doing this industry business not knowing who you are. That's when you get absolutely screwed over, because you're just mendable and you can be made into whatever. And I, like I said, I've still got years to go, I think, before I really figure myself out. But I'm so grateful for those years.
I tell my kids it's the best 4 years of your life, and you'll never get it back again. You make lifelong friends. You have experiences that will never do when you're older, even if it's corny ones. But it's the best. I tell everyone and their brother to make sure they do that before they pursue anything.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree.
I have to ask, why Co-Leen and not Co-Leen's your middle name, correct?
Co-Leen is my middle name. Yes, my surname or my maiden name is Brooks. I'm a Roberts now.
Okay.
Very stoked to be one. But my grandma was Co-Leen Carroll. And grandparents always have their stories, right? But my grandpa's story was he was a Marine, and I don't remember if he was stationed somewhere or if he finally got to come home. But I assume he got to come home because I think it was in Tulsa. But anyway, long story short, he walked in this bar and he saw this woman playing music, and he was like, I'm going to marry her. Now, whether or not that happened, I don't know, but I don't care.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
He saw her, and she was so beautiful, and her voice was so beautiful, and she's just special. And I think that's just music, it just enhances everything about a person. And She's my grandma, and I love my family, and my family has been so supportive of me. But with that said, I don't sound anything like my dad does.
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
don't really, I don't look like my dad does
Can we
unless
just say it one time?
you put
I'll just
a
say it one
cowboy hat
time.
on me, then I'll look
Yeah.
like I'll look like Garth, but that's about it.
There you
So,
go. All right. Enough said. But you're doing this all on your own. And
Yes.
you know what? And we give you so much credit for that and being so independent and getting your music out there. And just, now your songs are getting played on the radio. And it's such a cool feeling. And
it's so cool, and
Yeah.
it's so worth it. It's so great, and I don't know what would have happened if I sang under Brooks. It might not have looked any different, but I'm so proud of how we've done it, and we got to release our first single on my grandma's birthday, and it's just been really special. Co-Leen's been a really cool little element that we got to take everywhere. And to answer your question earlier, she is very adamant about it being Co-Leen and not Colleen.
Right. When I first looked at it, of course, I said Colleen, but then I'm thinking no, because and I started reading about it and reading up on you a little bit, and then talking to some of the people I know in Nashville, and they said, "No, Skip, it's Co-Leen." And I said, "Okay, I got it. I'm not going to mess."
We actually have tank tops on our website, like our merchandise, and it says Allie and then Co-Leen, 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 and on the back it shows you how to pronounce it, and it says like Jolene but with a C. We're very adamant about it.
Absolutely.
Co-Leen is Co-Leen, I'm Co-Leen. So,
So you're doing this all on your own, and you're getting your music played on the radio. And how hard is that for you to do on your own? Are you, getting it out there? You got Bev working for you, and she has been a godsend by emailing me when she heard about Skip Happens. She's been all over the podcast, and she wants to get a lot of people that she represents on this as well. And then, we found out a lot about you, and I said, absolutely. And it's so cool. She is awesome.
Well, and that's what I've learned through doing this alone is that you can't, you can't do this by yourself. And even if you do, that kind of sucks,
it's lonely, I bet.
Yeah. If you're on that pedestal by yourself, what's the point, And so getting to meet Bev has been a godsend. Like you said, Miss Bev gave me my first kind of big show in Nashville. It was a radio showcase. I want to say DXR or something like that, like digital rodeo. And it was 5 years ago now, because I was a freshman. Anyway, I just love her and met her, and through them I got to meet Grassroots, which has helped us with radio. And I know this answer stinks. I know it's so lame, and I know no one likes to look at music like this, but it's expensive. That's my word that I would sum it all up in.
Oh, there's no doubt.
It's so expensive. I never imagined, and no one does. Everyone looks at music as this beautiful thing, right? This amazing thing, this secular thing that we all have, and that's 100% what it is. Do not get me wrong, but it's also a business, and that stinks, But I know that Charmin has an advertising budget that puts them eye level with me on a shelf.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They get shelf placement with that advertising money, and it's the same exact thing with radio. You'll get whatever shelf placement you pay for. And there's a couple really amazing, lucky, talented, I don't know what the right word is, people that do it somehow and just have those amazing runs. And I would love to be in that group. But right now we're saving all the money we can, and it's going out as fast as it's coming in, and we're just doing the thing. And it's been amazing, and literally learned so much with every step. But Miss Nancy at Grassroots and all of them have been so supportive of us.
Best.
And they work with a lot of people that we know too. So I know Bev represents a lot of people, but just personal friends of mine like Joe and Martina, who's a duo, and Dallas Remington and James Dupre, all those people that I know used Grassroots. So it wasn't a question for us on who we were going to go to first. So
Joe and Martina are very
amazing with us.
Yeah, Joe and Martina are very good friends of mine. Joe Costa is excellent. He's doing his own producing now and doing his own thing. And of course,
Joe produced Ain't the Only Hell.
That's what I thought. But I do know he's doing that as well. So
So he's been amazing. And so they got to jump on the project with us as well. And Joe and Martina are literally another godsend of mine. Martina and I ride horses together, and we're just buddies. And Joe and I are buddies now too, in the same sense. And they're just so good to have good people like that here in Nashville. So though I'm doing it on my own in the sense of we're not using any coattails or anything like that. There's so many
that's awesome.
around me that are playing such a huge part in it.
If you see Martina and she's wearing Syracuse sweatpants,
yes,
they came from here. I'm just saying. When they were in town, she goes, I want something that says Syracuse on it. So I went to pick up all these sweatpants at the mall. And the night she was performing, we did a showcase with the radio station. And I said, here you go. And every once in a while, I see that she's got them on. So I always tease her about it. So
that's awesome.
It's awesome.
I love that.
You know, they are just great people. And it's all about, a lot of it's about networking and knowing the right people too.
Right.
You know, and I got to tell you, from being in this business a long time, your attitude is awesome. You have such a great look at things. You're smiling. I can tell you're very happy, but I can tell you also got that business side going.
Yes,
so
you have to.
Yeah, and that's the side that a lot of people do not see. People hear the.
I think if you don't, you get crushed a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
But and I think it's a really special thing to have. But you're right. You wouldn't know it, you know, unless you walk through it. Like that's the only way to find out. It's really, honestly, any industry. You know, there's so much stuff I don't know about other people's jobs, but it's crazy how much we learn so fast, so quickly these days, doing the music thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, and tell us about your songwriting. How often do you get together with somebody? Right now with the quarantine, I'm not sure how it's working for you, but
right.
But let's just say things get back to normal. I mean, do you do it like once a week, twice a week? You get together with the same people, or how do you make that work for you?
It's always different. And writing is really tricky because it's like you're always wanting to meet new writers. But at the same time, you've already got your schedule filled up with the people that you've been writing with forever. So that's been a really interesting thing to do. And what we normally do is just let the old meet the new, you know, kind of thing. You usually just jump up in threes and you do it together. And it's a really cool way to expand your writers. But to answer your question, before Rona came through and life was somewhat normal. I love how people say it goes back to normal. It was never normal.
It was never normal. And it
was just life.
I think is normal. So
right. So before Rona came through and we did, and everything's kind of paused, I probably did anywhere from 3 to 6 co-writes a week.
Oh, wow.
And I write by myself when I need to, but that doesn't happen so often anymore, which has been a crazy thing, seeing how songwriting used to be something that I only did personally for myself when I needed to get something out or when it was my therapy session. And now it's almost the opposite. Now I never write about myself. And I'm always just sitting around, just listening to people and just like trying to figure out what's going on in their lives and trying to write about other people. I think that as much as I love music and as much as I love the music that's out right now and the people that are out right now, I do wonder about the nutrition and the subsidies in the music we're listening to. I wonder if they're there, you know?
You're more of a 90s sound. I mean, I hear that with Ain't the Only Hell.
I just want something that I care about, you know?
Am I right to say that, though?
Yeah.
Do I get a 90s feel out of that?
I want to be Jody Messina so dang bad. Like, that's who I want to be.
Well, dye your hair red and you'll be fine.
I saw a t-shirt one time of her. I want to say it was like an 06 or something, like a Jody Messina t-shirt. And she had abs. So I'd have to get a lot more than red hair, but I'll do whatever it takes. I want to be Jody Messina so dang bad. I just love her. And I just love stories.
Yeah.
There's nothing more special than hearing a song and thinking that somebody wrote it for you. You know, there's nothing more special than that. And right now that's just not happening for me personally as a listener. That's just not happening. It might be happening for everybody else and cool. But I just love writing about other people and I love writing about their stories and I love happy songs, but that is not what I was put on this earth to do. That is not my forte. I was put on this earth to make sense of your sadness. And I love it. I love it so much. I could write sad songs all day.
You know, I was on the air this afternoon. I was talking about, because of everything that we've been going through, talking about how the music just kind of soothes the soul, takes, you know, all those worries in these uncertain times. When you listen to the radio or you listen to you or another great artist, it just kind of takes all that worry away. It puts you in a whole different mindset, so to speak. And that's what music does. And it's
so
people
special.
like you that have that, you know, you have the talent to write those songs and to sing those songs, and you put us in a good place. So I think that's really cool.
I love it. It's so cool. And my writers are so amazing. All of my writers should be huge artists. And I hate that they're not, but I think they're fine with it. They're wonderful. I write with a woman named Kelly Johnson all the time. And she's just became an absolute, just everything to me. She's amazing. Her and Carly Rogers and I write together. Carly and I get distracted more than we write, though. I will say that. But I've just got a good group of people around me that I know that I can take anything to. And I can be honest with them, and I can tell them whether we're writing about me or somebody else, and they're not going to treat it any differently. They're just going to cater to that story, and they're going to find that story, and they're going to put in their own stories. And I just think that's the coolest thing about songwriting. It's just how 3 different stories can come together and make one that still makes sense to everybody. And still, it's so cool.
And it's got to be very cool. If I look at your videos on YouTube and I see a lot of thumbs up and I see a lot of thumbs down, and I was reading today that you love it when somebody like disses on your music or it's like, but that's the cool thing. Like in radio, if somebody calls up and bitches about something, it's like, good. I know they're listening. That's awesome.
Right.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. There's nothing. You can text me and tell me how much you love me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you go and write something mean on one of my videos, you had to take so much time out of your day to do that. I'm so flattered. Like,
yes.
Because not only did you write the mean thing, you probably thought about it. And you probably thought about it after you posted it. Like, how it's going to affect my day. And
they're going to go back and
everyone to know, this is how it affects my day. Like, not at all.
No, I love it.
I'm not worried about it. I actually, Bev, I'll tell you why she's my favorite thing. I texted her last week. I said, hey, Bev, you want to know why I'm a publicist's greatest nightmare? And she goes, well, I probably know, but why? And I was like, I just went on and blocked like 7 people from my artist page. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I couldn't help myself. I do not tolerate anything with unkindness or racism. And last week was the week to post about what your stance was on that, obviously. And we just shared scripture because that was the only thing I knew how to do. I didn't know what to say, but I knew that my God did. And so we just posted scripture, and anything that was anything other than positive, we just blocked those people.
Goodbye.
And it made me feel so. And Bev just replies back and she goes, well, sometimes we got to clean house. And I was like, this is why we work together.
Yes.
Amazing people. Just always on my side, always on my team. But she'll correct me if I'm wrong. Right. I just love my people. And you ain't going to bug me at all if you write something mean about me. I don't care.
The thing is, and it's like with radio, as I just mentioned, if somebody calls and complains, and sometimes I get my boss going, hey, you can't have that. I said, no, Sam, you don't understand. They're listening to the radio station.
They are.
And in your case, chances are after they bitched about whatever they're going to complain about, they'll go back and listen to that, or they'll watch the video again. They will. And then they're going to tell somebody about it. Who's going to tell somebody about it? Who's going to tell somebody about it? So how cool is that when you think about it?
It's literally like I couldn't pay people enough to advertise the way mean people do. It's the greatest thing.
I know it is. It is absolutely. Oh man. I don't really want to go on this a lot because you're on your own, but have you done shows with your dad? Have you done certain shows with your dad? I hope you don't mind me asking.
Yeah. No, I don't mind at all.
Okay.
I'm so glad that you asked though too, because there's kind of like an ego thing in me that always wants people to know this. My dad, when I turned 18, he was supposed to be doing those Ireland shows.
Yes.
If you remember.
I do remember.
And so my 18th birthday present, what a birthday present, was I was going to get to stand on that stage and hear Ireland sing me happy birthday. And I was going to get to sing for them. And it was going to be so special. And when Ireland ended up happening, his first shows of the world tour coming back out kind of thing was in Chicago. And it was in September. And September, November, I don't remember, but either way, I got to sing backup. So like I've never sang with my dad like as Allie Colleen or anything like that. But I've got to like stand up there with the Wall of Sound, which is Robert and Vicky and Miss Karen O'Shell. And I've got to sing harmonies with them. And when he introduces the whole band for the first time, instead of Jimmy Mattingly, I'm the rookie. So instead of someone who's been here 26 years, I've been here 24 and we've worked together since 96. And he does it so perfectly. He introduces me as just another one of the crew members, you know, and if you know, cool. But
Right,
but I've
right.
got the chance. I probably did that in 3 or 4 cities over the 3 years that tour lasted. And it was so special. But when I go home, everyone does ask me what it's like being on tour with my dad and what it's like doing that full time, you know, and all those things. And it's something that Dad and I had to actually sit down and talk about it and be like, hey, this is the coolest experience I could ever have. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait until, you know, I earn it one day and I get to do it like myself, because I'm working so hard to be Allie Colleen, and I'm going home and everyone's asking me what it's like to be on tour with Dad, you know, and it's just, and I don't expect everyone to know everything about me at all times, you know what I mean? But it is important to me that people understand that I'm not on a bus on the road with Dad. I'm in my 4Runner with my husband going to my shows, and it has been amazing.
Well, your parents have to be very proud of you for taking that route, because how many children, you know, kids of artists, actors, whatever they're in, will take advantage of their parents' status.
Right.
Whereas the kids that go out there and do it on their own, you are learning, again, going back to that 4 years of college, and you had that experience. Well, now you're having this experience. You're building your own business. You're building your own way, and you're doing it your way.
Yeah.
So,
it's been so special. They've been so supportive of it. And it's been awesome. I don't think there's any other way that we would want to do it that even felt as good as this feels.
Your dad would probably just go, "You're on your own, girl. You're on your own."
I know.
You're
sometimes my dad's like, do they think that you have that option? I'm like, I don't know if they do or not, but I know I don't. So it's okay.
We love it. We love it. Is there just real quick, is there what do you think of like Friends in Low Places or songs like that you hear just about everywhere?
So we had the lucky chance to be on the Bobby Bones show last year, and Mr. Bobby asked me what my least favorite song was, and that is 100% the Friends in Low Places. It's just, and it's not, I love the song, right? If anyone else did it, I would love it. Well, that's a lie. I'd probably only like it if Dad did it still, but you don't know what it's like, my man, to have every dude in your high school use it as some creepy, inappropriate pickup line. Like, it's cringy. It's creepy. And so now I hear that song and I just think about, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I get you. All right, enough about that. Let's get back to you, because this is about you and nobody but you, as Allie Colleen. You've been writing. You've got a song coming out on the radio, Ain't the Only Hell My Mama Raised. And tell us about that song a little bit and how all that came about.
I love this song. It's I share it with, writing wise, I share it with my friend Co-Leen Watt. She's amazing. And Co-Leen and I have wrote several songs together, and lyrically she's amazing. But this night, she just came over and she played a couple chords on the guitar that I fell in love with. And we really just kind of sat there for the rest of the night and kind of talked to each other. And at the end of the night, I was like, hey, Co-Leen, you know, I actually have a song, you know, that I've been playing with that I know I want to use like this melody for. Like, can I just take it and run with it? And she's like, do whatever you want with it. So then I got to sit that night and I just wrote it by myself, and I got to write it with her. So I would have never had the song had Co-Leen not brought the melody to me, and the melody is so cool and fun and probably the coolest part of the whole song. But long story short, my mama has this photograph of her. It's the only line in the song that is not true, is that she was the same age as me. My mom's actually like 45 in this photo, which I think makes it even cooler.
Awesome.
And she's in this Budweiser bikini top that she always wore. And she's on our Grasshopper Zero turn on our lawnmower, and she always wore like this Ace Hardware, you know, like those little like 3-slot.
Like
they're like fanny packs, but not.
Yeah,
you know,
they're just gardening tools.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
She always wore that with her Budweiser bikini top, and she was always just outside and just working. And my mom is so beautiful, and so I saw this picture, and I saw my mom, and for the first time I saw, like, I don't want to say like the youth in my mom, like she's old or something, but like just for the first time I saw somebody that wasn't a parent,
right?
You know, kind of thing. And I just thought, how special is that? Like, my mom has this whole life before she had kids that like we don't even know about. And like, it's also totally tongue in cheek for me too, because half the stuff I got in trouble for as a kid, I'm now finding out my mom was like the queen of when she was like my age. So half of me is just like, you can't tell me to do something that you had to go and learn to do yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's what the whole song's about. It's just, my mama was crazy and she was hell raising and she was beautiful and she didn't care, you know, she just did her thing. Both my mamas are that way, honestly, and they're just beautiful, and I love that, and I love taking that and seeing myself in that, you know, like seeing myself in my youthful mother that was just this crazy beautiful, like, gypsy of a soul. I just think it's so special. And my mom also raised 3 absolutely psycho crazy awesome girls, you know, like we're just a girl family. It's what we are. And so I just love it, and I love the song. It makes me feel, it's very empowering to me without being this song that like only women want to hear.
Right.
Almost,
Right.
you know, it's cool, and I love it. And I saw it on a boutique. I saw Ain't the Only Hell My Mama Raised on a little boutique shirt one day, and I was like, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna use it. And I just held on to it for so long, and the song just fell in perfectly, and
Beautiful.
it was really special. And just to get to, honestly, to get and talk to my mama, there's a couple lines that I was having trouble with. And I called my mom and I was like, listen, like, I just need you to take off your mom hat real quick and just tell me stories. You know, like, what did you do? Like, what would you do? And we have this amazing thing back home. It's called Cavalcade, and it is the world's largest amateur rodeo, right? So like the world's largest, these are the best at being not the best cowboys on the planet, right? So you can only imagine what kind of crowds it is, right? It's just Cavalcade.
Yeah.
You go, you bring your horse trailers, you typically sleep in your horse trailer. It goes on, it's a week long, and like the very end of it, it's got like a big concert where usually they'll bring, like, for me, they brought like Cody Johnson and Casey Donahue and like those kind of things. And for mama, you know, they obviously brought like older stuff, and she just told me all about like what she would do, and that was fun. Like just getting to sit there and like kind of write a song with my mom. She didn't really understand like why I was asking her at the time, but just to get to sit there and like hear her memories like before me and like before my sisters. And like I just think moms are so cool in that sense, like getting to see my sister being a mom now and like seeing how much she's changed and like really taken on this mom hat opposed to my crazy sister that I know, you know, kind of thing. And I think women are just so special in that way, and moms are so special in that way. And so I just wanted to write a song that just really captured that, but also like gave us empowerment as daughters and women. And
it's that
it's
bond.
It's just a fun summer song, you know, and we're very proud of it.
Wow. That I'm just listening to you, you know, that whole story is just like, wow. And
it's cool.
Yeah.
I wish I could find the picture. I know exactly what it looks like. And my mama, I swear she found it and hid it. She's like, I don't know where it is. And I'm like, Mom, you never say that.
You'll
you know where everything is. It'll like, you hid it somewhere. Yeah. She knows that would have been the album cover had she let me use it. But whatever.
It'll appear somewhere someday.
I know. I'll find it.
You'll see it and go, there it is.
I will. I'll find it.
Yeah, that's awesome. What else? I mean, what else do you do? I mean, do you get out? Do you enjoy life a little bit? Well, here we go again. We got the quarantine going. But for the most part, like, I mean, you got people you hang out with. Let's say you want to get away from the writing and the singing for a little bit. Like, what do you enjoy to do?
So one, I am so lucky to have a husband that just, bless his heart, just doesn't have a musical bone in his body, right? So one, first off, everything I do is cool. Like everything I do is cool because he doesn't know how to do it, and it's awesome. So that's a huge escape alone. Just having a husband that I can go and like just play with and like go do stuff outside or whatever we want to do and not be music related, you know, like that's really special. And he's cool, but I love being outside. I am my mother's daughter. I'm literally, if you drive past my house, I'm probably in my flower beds, which doesn't make sense because they don't ever look nice. I'm just always out there. I'm always dirty. I love.
It's all right.
I love it. I love it. And I love horseback riding. We've got some horses.
Yeah, you said you go with Martina. Do you go out to California once in a while and ride with her out there?
I never have. I've never been out to. They're headed there now. They're there now, actually.
Yes.
And they'll be gone until like August or something ridiculous. I'm like, what am I gonna do? But we ride together a lot out here. But I've never got to go and see them in California or anything like that. So we have horses. I love animals. My mama runs, or she funds and helps profit a wildlife rehabilitation clinic back in Oklahoma.
Very cool.
It's called Wild Heart Ranch. It is my absolute life. I love that place. My Aunt Nettie runs it, and she's the vet there. And so we take in any and all just wildlife in Oklahoma.
Very
cool. We take care of them. We release them, and so when I go home, I go and I work there and I see them. Well, I say I work there. They don't let me do anything. They used to. Now I just come in. They just let me play with stuff, and I'm like, this is actually the better job. Thank you. But I love animals.
Yeah.
I love all those kind of things. But really, I just love being outside. I love hiking. I love doing anything. I don't write or play music for fun anymore. I feel like, like I used to. Not that I don't do it for fun. I don't want that to sound wrong, but
I think you do to a certain extent.
I do to an extent, but I wouldn't say like music. I don't say music's a hobby anymore.
Right.
You know, like that's my job. That's what I do. So when I do have free time, it's normally not music.
I got you.
So all that to say, like I said earlier, I'm not good at anything else. So I'm just outside. I'm just hiking or doing something.
Cool.
I love it. I kind of got in the DIY phase during quarantine like everyone else did, but I'm not going to show you my projects.
No, I was going to ask because, Nashville, they put a hold on going to phase 3, correct? Do you know?
I don't think so, dude.
No?
Like, we're doing it. Like, there's full bands on Friday and Saturday nights here.
Oh, wow. There's
a couple venues that, like, during the week, they abide by the only 2 people on stage, kind of thing.
Yeah,
but as soon as that weekend hits, they're making money. Like, they're playing.
It's been too long.
Yeah. The only thing that kind of stopped Nashville, like, fully opening up was the one weekend that the looting kind of happened everywhere.
Yeah.
And since that night, same as most cities, we haven't had a problem with it. Like the protests here have been amazing and peaceful. And they even say themselves, anything that happens after 5, like, it's not us. Like, we're not doing that. So they've been really great about it here. So the only hold right now is just like busted up windows downtown. Other than that, like, it's fully open and rocking and doing its thing.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good news. Somebody told us that Dirk Bentley's bar closed up. Or
I don't know if it closed up or not. I know the ones that because I haven't been down there. I drove down there like during quarantine, like just to see all the neon and no one out there. That was super spooky.
How weird is that? Yeah, somebody sent me a picture of Broadway with not a soul on it.
Not one. And it's so spooky. I tried to have a photo shoot down there during it. And a bunch of the cops and stuff were like, hey, like, if you come down here and park and like you're out and about, like, we will ask you to leave.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not about to do anything disrespectful towards men, women in blue. So I wasn't messing with that. But I want to do a photo shoot down there so bad.
Yeah, but
it would have been awesome.
So cool.
And I'm sure somebody did. And I'll see it one day. I'll be
and you're going to be pissed.
It was just a ghost town. Just everything shut down. There was nobody down there. But I do know, like, as of recent, I think almost everything's open back up. Old Reds was still serving drinks during quarantine, like during like the last week or so. You could walk in and get a drink and leave.
Yeah, they're open now because I just got an email that they were open.
And they just opened one in Florida too. I think I saw today or something like that.
Wow.
So they're just open and doing it wherever they're at. And we haven't spent too much time. Like, we definitely haven't like gone downtown for a night out since quarantine. We're not that brave.
Do you perform downtown or anywhere else in the Nashville area?
Not very often. I have my one place in Nashville that I've played for the last like 5 years that I do play at very regularly, and I love it. It's called Scoreboard. It's like across from like Gaylord Opryland and stuff like that. So it's not downtown. It's not like on the Strip. It's like by the Nashville Palace and like the older Nashville. And I love it. It's my favorite place. And then outside of there, like in our winter months, we'll play downtown like gigs every now and then kind of thing when like our touring schedule has slowed down. But this summer we were supposed to be out of town every weekend kind of through November.
Sure.
And I think we lost every show but 3.
Yeah.
So I have one, like I have one this month and I have 2 next month. But aside from that, like we don't have anything. So because of that, we're starting to taking bookings around town, but also everybody who lives here is a singer, songwriter, musician, right? So they're looking for their spots that they've already had downtown, and Nashville is very good about being loyal to their players. So hopefully they will fill those player spots before like new people come around looking.
Now, is the Station Inn still around? It's been years since I've been there, but it's like I used to love to go there. The Station Inn.
I don't remember where it is. I want to say that it is.
It's out of the ways. It's not near downtown, but when I hit Nashville, I love to go to these different places. I don't want to go to, I don't mean this in a bad way. And I've mentioned this to other people. It's cool. If you've never been to Nashville, yeah, definitely go to Broadway.
Oh yeah. You have to go
listen
once.
to the music and
yes.
taking the touristy type of things. But then if you got some extra time, hit some of the older bars on the outskirts of town, and you never know who you're going to see. You never know who you're going to hear. And it's so very, very cool. So,
and if you're going to see anybody, that's where it's going to be.
Right.
I tell all my friends, everyone who comes into Nashville, you have one night. You have one night that I will go downtown with you. You can pick it whenever you want during your stay. You've got one night that I will take you down there. Other than that, like, we're going anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's just not my scene. I'm not I'm not a heavy drinker, but I do know that if I'm around other people that are drunk, I want to be there too. I don't want to be a sober person around drunk people. And that's the situation you'll always find yourself in downtown. And so no, I'm either like, get me on your level or let me go home. Like, just let me go home. I'm such a homebody. I never go downtown unless I'm playing. But it's opened up and it's gotten back to normal. And I think we're going to start doing shows at Scoreboard and Doc Holidays downtown.
Very cool. I was quite shocked to see, you were talking about what happened down there last week, that somebody actually threw a rock through the Ryman window. And that just, broke my heart. And then to see what they did to the courthouse, it just broke my heart. Knowing Deb and I have been in Nashville quite often for meetings, or we just go. She's going I think in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Nashville withdrawals. I haven't been
coming
there.
To see us.
Yeah, well, she's got her son lives there, so and she also does a lot of work in Nashville with her business. So
of course you do.
So if you're playing that weekend anywhere, we'll come see you.
Oh, I would love to. I'll definitely let you know. I hope to have some dates by then. Honestly, it's been really slow getting them in and everything, but the courthouse thing was stupid. Let's just say it as it is. It was stupid. I can't believe he set it on fire. And he was arrested and everything like that, which was cool, I guess. But I know the downtown anything, Ryman associated or not, just broke a bunch of people's hearts. It's like all those shop owners, all those bar owners had been working their tails off to get back open for everybody. I mean, this is the case for every city that this happened in. Everyone was working so hard to get back open, and then it's honestly just like a night of just like straight up betrayal by us, like just stupid people doing stupid stuff. Like I said, all the protesters that were there for good reasons and peaceful protests were gone by 5. So like said nothing to do with them. And it was really, really frustrating. But I think Nashville is always good at bouncing back, right? I mean, this town's been making music long before Broadway was a thing. We'll be all right. And it'll be okay. But it was really, very frustrating for sure.
All right, Allie, if you've got a lot of great music out there, you've got your own YouTube channel, you've got all that going, you've got your website, and on your website, first of all, what is your website?
So my website is alliecolleenmusic.com.
Okay. All right. On that website, you have a merchandise tab. And especially during this time of quarantine, I think somebody watching this or somebody, let's support the artist.
Yes, please do.
Merchandise.
Please do. Check out my merchandise. It tells you how to say my name. It's awesome. I've also got hats and some work in progress t-shirts and things like that. I will say with our YouTube, we just we've had a song called Close Enough that had a very big response on YouTube, posted by somebody else a few years ago. And ever since then, everyone's been kind of asking for that song. But I'll be honest, Close Enough's kind of my baby. It's kind of my one song that I was like, I don't want the world to have this yet. Like, this is still mine.
Right.
And it was because of that reason that my husband and everyone around me just kind of encouraged me. Like, if the song's done that much for you, like, you have to share it. Like, that's what you do as a songwriter. You don't get to pick and choose when and how you help people. You have to put it out. And so we did a release on YouTube, which is just, I hate calling them this because I just don't ever feel like I'll ever have like all fans. That's a stupid word, but Allie Colleen fans sent in like the lyrics, so it's just them holding up pictures of lyrics. And it was so special to get to see them. And on their little lyric, it says where they're from. We had a couple people from Denmark and from Holland do it. And that was so special. We were supposed to play in Sweden this summer and that got canceled. And one of the men who was hosting us in Sweden is on the lyric video. And like, that was really special for me. I've never got to meet him, but to have him on there. So anyway, all that to say, please, everybody, go check out our YouTube. Check out this lyric video. We did not release the song to streaming or anything. So the only place you can find our done recording of Close Enough is YouTube.
Very cool.
and all those things. So any support, whatever you can do, whether it's merch or just a like, honestly, the social stuff helps us so much. Anything you guys can do.
Now you've only been out of college, just a couple of years, right? And
right. I graduated in 18.
Right. So, and then you got married like right away. Cool.
I got married in October of 18.
There you go. Wow. So was he like a high school sweetheart? I don't. Is he listening? Shh.
No, he's playing Warzone Call of Duty in the next room.
That's how he got kicked out.
He actually might be listening. He's actually very good at getting on and listening. So if you are listening, you're hot and I love you a whole lot. I'm also kind of hungry, but it's okay.
Hint.
So he and I met on Tinder my freshman year. The summer after my freshman year of college. So we were together all through college. He went to a different university. He went to Middle Tennessee State, and he wrestled there. He's a teacher. He taught for a couple of years and that kind of thing. So he's amazing. And we got married right out of college and just been on the road since then, honestly.
Good for you. You know, it was meant to be. That's very awesome. You can tell.
Thank you.
You can tell that already. Allie Colleen. I almost said Colleen. See, the first
you just gotta remember Colleen, and no offense to any Colleens out there, but Colleen sounds like a sound that a bird would make.
I'm
Co-Leen.
It's Allie Colleen.
Colleen.
I love it. Allie Colleen and AllieColleenMusic.com. Make sure you check out the website. Make sure you check out YouTube. And do you have any plans of a radio tour or anything like that in the near future?
We are absolutely doing one, but we don't know if it's going to be virtual or not.
I got you.
You know, with Corona and everything, they really want it to be virtual, I think, just because that's easier for everybody. But I know that if you're having a bad day and you don't want to pay attention to me, it'd be really easy for you to do that virtual. But if I get to come in and meet you, you're going to like me. So I'm hoping that I get to.
We like you already.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
But we don't know about that, but it'll be up and posted if it's anywhere to where like people can tune in and that kind of stuff. We'll
absolutely. You know, we love what you're doing. We love you being an independent woman and doing and writing, singing all your own music, pushing your stuff to radio, you and your team, so to speak.
Right. Yes.
That is just, it's phenomenal what you're doing as an independent artist and songwriter.
Thank you.
And just keep doing that, Allie. It's amazing. You're talented. I'm going to tear up and cry in a minute.
No, you're literally my mom. I was with my mom all weekend during the release, and she cried every time it came on.
You know, I don't know why, but I find that happening a lot lately. And I'm a guy. I'm a grown man, and I'm like, when I get talking, I get very sentimental.
No, I cry at everything. We need more people like us.
Now everybody's viewing, going, he's such a.
What am I going to do with you?
I don't know.
Dev's up here like, geesh.
Tell him that. Stop.
Don't tell those little things. No, I'm just
no, it's all good. But Allie, thank you so much for taking the time to hang with us for about an hour tonight. We look forward to your music. I promise you will get played here in Syracuse. I have that power, and I will make that happen. It's great. I want to say great stuff. It's great music. Just
thank you so much. Thank you guys, and thank you for supporting independent artists. We need all the help that we can get. So
absolutely. And I love your background. I think I told you that before you clicked the mic. I love that. Is that an actual flag, or is it?
It's like a tapestry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I bought it off a tapestry website.
Okay. No, I love that. I love that background. I'm thinking.
My wall is also black, so it goes really well with it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm in the. I have a home studio here, and I call it my pod zone. So, but
you need a tapestry for it.
I got to do something. I know I've got different things up here, and my wife gets mad at me, but I say, honey, it's not your room. Go.
It's not.
But anyways, all right.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, and have a great night. Love to the family, and we look forward to getting your music on the radio. And hopefully, the people that are viewing this and listening to this will go to AllieColleenMusic.com and support our local artists like you. So. Awesome. Good night, Allie. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.